Hello, so welcome back, and I'm going to show you how to make a paper Soundwave challah bread. So I have already shown you the little cutout, and mind you, I always say, play around with how many squares you use, different dimensions. This is all about artistic interpretation, and whatever it is that you want to create. This is just how I do it. You know, you can make something totally different and probably a lot more amazing. So I encourage you, and send me pictures of what it is that you have created. So another thing that people have mentioned is that this is paper. So if you fold it X amount of times, it's going to break. And yes, so what you can do is you can take tape, and in the parts where you fold, you can put a little backing on it so that way it doesn't break. So we have right now, we're making a paper Soundwave, and I have cut out, but he comes with his little guys. So we've got Laserbeak right here. We've got Slugfest. I don't know if you remember him. He's from season 3. We've got Rumble with his little pistons. We've got Buzzsaw that came with Soundwave. We've got Ravage. Look at and we've got Overkill. And we also have Frenzy. See, we've got Frenzy. And I'm sure that you can figure out how to transform Soundwave. Very, very simple to transform. You just fold the arms back. You just fold the arms backwards. You form the head back, and then you fold the legs inwards. So you're basically turning him into a square. And there's your Soundwave. What makes this Soundwave a little bit more interesting is that he holds the other characters. So I'm going to show you how that happens. So I have this little piece that I have created off to the side that I'm going to tape onto my Soundwave, and I'm going to fold these two little pieces. These little side pieces are to hold the actual characters. This is a little slit that I've cut so that way it slips inside, and it kind of creates like a little door, you know, so you can open and close it. So what you want to do is you want to fold Soundwave sideways, and you want to cut a 2 square or equivalent to this little peg right here that you've got going on right here, the top one, so that way it fits. Can you see that? That way it fits in there, so that way you can fit it in there. And then what you want to do is you want to take the longer peg aspect, and you want to fold it inwards, and you actually want to see if you can tell, little tape, make a tiny little piece of tape. You want to take it, let's see if I can do this. You want to take it, you want to tape it down so that way it's perfectly aligned with your character, so that it's perfectly aligned there. So you've got that going on. So you can put another little piece of tape if you want, just to hold it even more. And so there you've got your inside tape. So then you fold these little 2 tabs inside. You take this tab and you slip it in here like so, or not. Maybe I didn't cut it wide enough. Let's fold Soundwave again, and let's cut him again, so that way he can actually fit. So then you cut it a little bit more, so that way that little slot can fit, and then you've got your little slot. So see that? So Soundwave has a little door that opens, so you've got your little door right there. So then you take your characters, and you fold them to the same dimension of you fold them up, so that way you only see a tape. So you fold everything up, so you only see a tape, and then you slip it in here, or is it too big? Oh, it's too big. He's too big. But you get the gist. Maybe make him like smaller, I don't know. But there you go. So see, look, he's holding Overkill right there. He's like, I'm gonna turn into a tape recorder, and I'm gonna fight crime, which I don't, because I'm actually part crime. So he's like, Soundwave is here, and then he's like, Overkill, go get him. So Overkill comes out and he goes, rah, Overkill, I'm gonna get all the people everywhere. So basically, you can take any character, fold them up, you know, you can fold them up into a tape, and then just slip them inside. That's how we roll. So you can take that, and then you can take your thing, and then you can slip it in there, and then I don't know if I really need those little pegs, but I used them anyway. And maybe I should have made him a little bit smaller, because I think they're actually a little too big. So maybe I should have made him by 3 by 3. That would have been, because the square, you should give yourself a little bit more room, because if not, like myself, you'll have a hard time fitting in the characters, you know. But I mean, it's the 4 squares by 4 squares, so you should give yourself a little bit of room. But you can finagle it in there if they're the exact same squares. So there we go. Look, he's inside. See? So what I'm talking about is that if you see right there, there's 4 squares by 6 squares. So most characters, except for the mistake that I did with Laserbeak, is 4 square. This one's 4 squares by 5 squares. But most squares are 4 squares by 6 squares. You can actually make it 3 squares and make it a little bit smaller, and 3 squares by 5 squares, and then that way you'll have something that'll fit a lot better, and but you can still make it fit if it's 4 squares by 4 squares. So that's your Soundwave. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Tell all or one.